Hi, my name is Joe Howard. I'm the executive editor here at Transport Topics. I'm joined by Dan Bearth, our senior features writer, and we're here to talk about a major shakeup in the truckload sector today. Knight Transportation and Swift Transportation have announced a merger. It's a big deal. It's a big deal for our Transport Topics top 100 list of the largest for-hire carriers in the U.S. and Canada, because with Swift at number 6 and Knight at number 29, we now have a combined company that's going to be pretty large. Dan, talk to us about how this is going to affect the truckload sector.
Yeah, this makes Knight Swift combined clearly the largest truckload carrier in the country, and that's obviously important to this company. Maybe the most important element of that is the fact that it keeps them ahead of Schneider National, which is another truckload carrier that they compete directly with, and which just completed an initial public offering of its own. And many people expected that to trigger a move by Schneider to get bigger and maybe make some acquisitions so that it can compete more with Swift, J.B. Hunt, for example, in the intermodal space. So I see this as a move to make Knight Swift combined more competitive with the other large carriers in this industry.
Now, one of the things that Executive Chairman Kevin Knight even mentioned on the call, he talked a lot about synergies. And you hear that a lot whenever there's a merger, but he pointed specifically to one area. He pointed to dedicated, an area where Swift is pretty strong and where Knight perhaps isn't as strong. And it seems to me that, is this an example of two companies actually finding a place where the two puzzle pieces actually fit? And is this the kind of thing you think we might see going forward in the M&A market?
Well, other than dedicated, I don't see much difference between the services that both of these companies provide. It's more of a distinction in the way that they're managed, and with Knight's focus being on regional truckload and Swift's focus being on long haul, over the road, intermodal, and so forth. So most large transportation companies today want to do everything that they can for a shipper, right? So they can keep as much of that revenue as possible. So yeah, it makes sense to have as many services as you possibly can and be good at all of them, and that seems to be a goal here. Although I'm a little bit taken aback by the fact that both companies have stressed that they're going to keep these companies separate in the way they're operated. And Joe, we've seen this movie before. You may recall a decade or so ago, Yellow merged with Roadway to create Yellow Roadway Corp., which was a big, at the time, merger among less than truckload carriers, right? And over time, those two companies were merged into one. And my bet is that the same thing will happen to this company going forward, yes.
So what does that mean for the key players? What does that mean for Kevin Knight? What does that mean for Jerry Moyes?
Yeah, under this arrangement, looks like the Knight management will take over responsibility for all of Swift's operations. That is certainly a reflection of the fact that Knight's had a lot of success with what it has done. Jerry Moyes is an iconic figure in the industry, right? He started with a few trucks and built up a tremendous organization over time. And we've seen similar stories play out in the trucking industry for the past couple decades. But going forward, running large, complex organizations are going to take pretty sophisticated talent at the top, and this is a credit to Knight. I think that they feel like they have the management horsepower to run both these combined operations and be successful.
And it's worth noting that Kevin Knight got his start with Swift, so he has come back 26 years after leaving the company and founding his own, to come back and run them both.
Yes, they know each other very well, and so this is a very friendly deal, and so we'll see what he can do.
It's a friendly deal and one that we're going to be watching very carefully. Thanks for tuning in with us today. We appreciate your time. I'm Joe Howard. That's Dan Bearth. Visit us again. Thanks.